Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sonic Stream. Sonic Adventure 2. I already forget. Oh no, we were at a Knuckles level. I remember now.
A Knuckles level was
It
just
was
about to start, and you're like,
No, it was a boss fight at the end of the Knuckles level. I hope I don't have to redo the whole other level again. I don't think I do though. I think it'll just pop me back at the boss fight. Because you stop by at a Chow garden before you get to the boss. So I think that's a clear sign that it's fine and that it's saved whenever you get to one of those Chow gardens. So that should be fun. We are starting the stream a little bit late, but that's fine. I still feel awake enough. We'll see how long that lasts. Gurgi's not feeling very awake. He's out like a light on the floor.
oh,
He's a good pupper though.
oh. Hey, Gurgi, you want to be cute for stream? Yeah?
It's like I'm already cute on the floor. I'll stay on the floor. Floor gang. Ooh.
Here, and that should be the link. Yeah. Alright, so let chat, pop out chat, and full screen that shit. And when you full screen it, it goes back to live chat. Goddamn. Alright. Hey, Gurgi. Do you want to hang out with me? You want to hang out with me?
I hang out with the cool kids, girl.
Yeah?
Aww.
You want to give me a high five? Gurgi. Do you want to give me a high five? You want to hop up here? Yeah. Oh, boy.
As soon as you offered to, like, do trick, he's like, okay, I'll get up for doing a trick.
Oh, who's your good boy?
Oh, you're a good boy.
He's your good boy. You look more like a mop on the camera. The camera picks up like only. Oh, he's got a spot. He's got a spot. Oh, that's a spot.
Oh, yeah. Already so cute for stream. It's funny, you just see his nose and then a big pile of flop.
Yeah, the light like only picks up like the yellow light. So you just
David Myers says he looks out.
I know, like on the camera you can't see like the different parts of him, but
You're so cute.
I swear he has all the normal dog
You're
parts.
so cute. You're so cute.
He's
Yes,
like
you are.
He's like contorting his neck because I'm scratching the good spot.
Oh yeah, he's getting himself comfortable on the couch. You need to save space for Adam, Gurgi.
Where am I
You
gonna
can't
sit?
take the whole couch.
Where am I gonna sit? Yeah.
Oh, he's adorable. Well, I can think of no better way of starting a stream than cute puppers.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe, what's up?
Hey.
Isn't he a cutie? Oh, he's tired.
He's a mop on the camera.
He's
'Cause
just a big mop.
The camera makes the room look like it's just bathed in like yellow light. Oh wait, maybe it's your monitor's extra yellow because that camera
Yes.
isn't nearly as like.
Yes, this monitor is definitely extra fucked up with the colors.
Yeah.
I've tested it before.
It's an extremely fast refresh rate, for the record, everyone.
He's taking up the whole couch. It's so cute.
So what if I have to sit down?
Like,
Can I
it's
just
my couch.
can I sit like this? Is that okay? What if I just put my weight down? Is that cool, Gurgi? You want to be at the bottom of the puppy pile? When we got him, there was lots of other puppies, and he stood out because all the puppies they just like instantly got tired, and then all laid down for a nap, and they all just like climbed on top of each other to to sleep because they're all so soft. And then he, with his purple collar, that's why we always give him a purple collar, is because like that's how she told them apart. She had a different color for each puppy. And he like started squirming, like crawling out from the bottom of the pile. And then he goes around, he picks up all the treats that that the groomer was using to, or the breeder was using to get all the dogs in there. And he just goes around and eats all the treats, and then he climbs sneakily on top of the pile and lays down.
No.
So whenever I'll like pretend to lay on top of him, like he can't actually because he's too small, so I'll crush him. But I'll like pretend to start laying on top of him and then fall asleep, and then he'll like
quote unquote fall asleep.
Yeah, I'll like make like the exaggerated snoring noises, and then he'll like believe it and start squirming out from underneath, and then climb on top of me.
Yeah.
Some things never change, huh, buddy?
Oh, you're so cute, Gertie, but you do have to make room.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I'll
He's like
start the game.
he's like not even a dog on camera. He's just like
just Mop.
he's just Mop. But here's a paw, and then here's an ear, and here's your nose. Oh.
Alright. Yeah, so straight at the boss fight.
Is it in night mode, i.e. blocking blue light? That's a good question, actually.
The settings on this monitor where I play my game and whatnot, it's fucked every time that like I restart my computer or turn the monitor off or something. It's just like it just like turns everything back. Okay, I remember now. I gotta hit this guy.
But is there a night mode? I think there.
Right now.
I know.
Dig.
I know I was going through the settings to try to find like brightness
Oh yeah.
at some point, because Windows removed the ability to change the brightness on a desktop.
No, they won't let me.
Hey buddy, what you doing? You want the other side scratches?
These are some exaggerated ghost brah type noises here. Oh no!
You shot the
He
spot?
turned around.
Gigi doesn't like the boss fights. He gets too scared.
It's making a rah. King Boom Boo. Please do not copyright strike.
Not King Boo.
Ah, god damn it.
It's a boom ghost. Oh, Gergie, your head is off screen.
Man. This camera is really not a...
He's like,
Yeah,
he's
be
torn
nice.
between the scratches and the stress.
It's okay. It's okay, buddy.
Nice
I'm
guy.
just not good at the game.
Oh no. Oh no, a feminist? Run for your life? Oh. If only you could exercise them.
Ah. If only you could exercise the feminists.
Ugh.
Come on.
Alright.
Come on. Where's that fucking... Ah! No! Got him. Alright. Alright. What? Hey. It's kind of clever. I like that a little bit. Alright.
So, I know this was like a week ago now, but like, I was saying next stream we were gonna tell stories from BasedCon. Did I tell the story about the thoughts and prayers?
I don't think you did. Yeah,
Also,
I think you did.
Hey Aura and hey Salem.
Wow.
So there was a guy who was, he's like a Christian guy. There was a bunch of people that were like
Of course, yeah.
Religious or Christian. There's one guy who was like Jewish. But it's mostly like Christians. And a lot of people were like interested in theology and history and stuff.
Can't change the camera at all. It makes it quite difficult to figure out. Wow.
You know, in modern gaming, where they won't let you change the camera, it's because they want to control the camera to make it look cool for people watching you.
Yeah.
But for this game, it's just like, no excuse. We just fucked it up. Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Ah, man. I missed him.
He moves too fast.
He moves pretty fast. He's moving faster.
Like, logically, you can't really... You have to get lucky, right? Like, can you actually move fast enough to...
Ah, man.
Yeah, that's... I don't even know if that's skill. I think that's all luck.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. This game is made for children, so I would just hope so. I would hope that it was possible.
It's definitely possible to get lucky.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're really predicting those movements realistically. Anyway,
he moves super fucking fast. He moves faster than me, and look at how fast I move.
You're going on 0 rings.
I know. I can't see where the rings are because I can't move the camera.
So anyway, this guy was complaining, and if you've ever seen Entourage, he looked just like Ari Gold and acted like him too. Here we go. Okay, nice. Ugh. Can you get in tighter?
Man.
Because the further to the right you go, the faster.
Yeah. It's tricky. It's a tricky.
Anyway, that guy was complaining about how when atheists say...
Oh, come on, why didn't I pick that one up?
I don't know.
It was like right in front of me.
When atheists say, my thoughts and prayers are with you,
alright,
he feels like...
it's disingenuous because they're atheists.
Well, he said specifically, like, what value does that have if you don't believe in anything? And I thought that was pretty funny because I've had the same thought, right? Because I don't have a religion, right? I was like raised Catholic, but I'm, I guess, broadly atheist.
He's so fast at this phase, my goodness. Come on. Come on. Ugh.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. Get fucked. Stupid boom boo knockoff. Mario, don't sue us.
Anyway. It's Constitution Day?
Constitution Day.
I don't know. I've got some kind of like super conservative bank, and they send me these emails like, God bless you, all the time. It says, may we never take the Constitution for granted on this Constitution Day.
Oh, Eggman!
Music.
What is that music?
There's way too many lyrics and like...
It's so poorly sound mixed.
I hate that. When they put lyrics in songs while people are trying to talk, it's like the most... It's just terrible. What was going on in the 90s that they thought that was okay?
Oh, I know this song, actually. Of course I do. Cool. I am the Eggman. That's what I am.
Cool looking boss.
I just couldn't hear it because everybody was talking. Oh, God.
Egg golem.
Well, that was, alright.
That is an effective golem. So anyway, this guy was making a joke, or I guess he was being serious, but can get out of that. Easy.
Okay. The weak point is the head.
And I thought it was amusing because I'd had the same thought. Because, like...
It's a good thing I got that balance bracelet.
I don't know, I've, like, grown up in America where, like, Christianity is normal. And then... And it's, like, a pretty common, like, phrase to say, like, my thoughts and prayers, or, like, God bless you, and stuff like that. And, I also feel like I don't, like, hate religious people. So if they believe in God, I like to say, like, God bless you. Because, like, it makes them happy. And I'm not, like, a demon.
Come on. Alright, I just gotta get to the back. But my god.
But then I think, like, oh, am I allowed to say God bless you? Or
Oh, fucking god damn it.
Or if they know I'm an atheist, will they think that I'm being, like, sarcastic or something?
Can I just now make that jump?
Maybe you can't make it that direction. Maybe you have to be going left. And anyway, so I was like...
Ah! What? Why did it go that way? Why?
I don't know, but I think Gergie had
I
the right
was
idea.
hitting the complete opposite direction, and then it just flung me off the...
Oh, hey, JB. Oh.
I hate this boss already.
Hey, Adam, feel like playing a joke on your bro?
What?
Sure.
Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Speaking of my brother, he has a property that he rents out and to like a couple different tenants, and he's feeling like he wants to raise the price of rent, but in order for people to pay that, he feels like he needs to. He needs.
Oh my god. It's nerve-wracking.
Now just do that 9 more times. He feels like he needs to do some work on it to make it look nicer, and he has a bunch of things in mind. And I was figuring, since I have a bunch of what's that guy called? The home improvement guy?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since I have a bunch of in the Discord, I was thinking, God, he has like a really normal name too. What's wrong with me? I can't remember. Buzz Lightyear. Anyway, since there's a bunch of Buzz Lightyears in chat in the Discord, I was thinking I should make, unless I already make a channel? It was like Home Improvement or something.
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen. Ah, yeah, chat knows. Of course. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Yeah. Since there's a bunch of Toolmans in in the Discord, I was thinking of I should make a channel to like talk about man shit, where Never can show off making his cars.
I don't even know how I fell off that time. It's just like, this is really a confusing mess of a boss fight.
Maybe you have to be moving leftward.
Leftward?
Like,
this feels so unnatural.
Was that clockwise? Maybe you have to change directions depending on like how the platforms are configured. Because you're right, you can't make that jump.
Ugh.
It's like you don't even die when you fall. It's just it just punishes you by making you mash until your hands hurt.
You can see why it's popular amongst the autistic kids.
They like a routine. He wants to do a bunch of stuff to it, and he was, because I've been talking about how I want to like get better at that sort of thing.
That was it. Ugh. Ugh. Whoa.
One of
God damn it.
one of the things he wants to do is like fix the hardwood floor, make the hardwood floor look nicer. Yeshua Yarda commiserates with you. He also hates his boss. You can attack the last 3 platforms with the homing attack. Oh, is that why they're blinking? So you can skip up them, like blam, 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 and then hit the thing.
I mean, slow and steady is doing me good,
yeah.
so I don't want to fuck anything up by trying to be fancy.
That was a good strat. Just go down a level.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Ah! Oh my god! Why does he run so much? Oh, it's because he's Sonic, of course. What am I saying? What? Bro? What are you doing?
Real hardwood? I believe so. I thought he had some fake hardwood in part of it.
I would assume that he would just have some.
Yeah,
fake
he's
that type of guy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Come on.
my brother is like, if it can be artificial, it should be artificial. Like, I think this is like taboo or something, but like his the wedding ring that he got is like lab grown diamonds, which are like artificial. But then again, his like wife, I guess.
Ah! Ah! I hate that.
She has like a second wedding ring for like, I don't know, because she's around like poor people, I guess. So she, I don't know, she wants like a shittier wedding ring for when she's around like inner city people, so they don't feel bad, I guess.
What the fuck was that? Why? Why are the controls so bad in this game?
I guess you didn't have to die. But it broke your will to live.
Yes it did.
Critical hit against your vulnerable spot, your soul. Anyway, I think it is real hardwood. It's like really dark wood.
Oh god! What?
Home construction is like anti-art? Is it? I don't know. You can make a house pretty. I'm excited to try and make a house pretty, because we were just at the New York Renaissance Fair, and like those are like real dumpy buildings, and they just add this like random stuff that makes it look so fucking medieval and cozy. Super into it.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't take much. I think people are just a bunch of whiny losers. You could make a house look like some cool medieval castle thing without a whole lot of effort. Then you can take pictures and put it on Instagram and be like, whoa, real castle, whoa. So I don't know. I think people just are big gay losers.
I literally never need to worry about his attacks ever The only thing I need to worry about is constantly falling off because Sonic runs too much.
Not so much anymore. Diamond's value is artificially boosted. People are relatively okay with replacements these days. I think so. I think the Diamonds... I don't know. There's like a kind of tradition to it, but it feels very artificial. There's some arguments where people are like, it's just a ring. It shouldn't mean anything. It's like, no, it should be like valuable and stuff. But I'm kind of more of the mind that like it should... I don't know. Like it should be a gemstone, right? But like, I don't know. Like, does it have to be a diamond? Because if it's not a diamond, I guess people would be like, is that a wedding ring? But I don't know. It like, personally, I always thought it would be cooler to have like a sapphire or an emerald or something. Like if it's gonna be something expensive, because diamond isn't that rare. Because like if it was, not every single person could have a diamond ring, and it looks pretty identical to quartz. Like I bet if you put people like in a game show, diamond or quartz or glass, people would have a real hard time like sussing out which was which. Unless they're like mineralogists. And I bet at a distance, even like someone who's an expert can't quite tell if it's quartz. Oh, nice.
Alright, well, I did the thing. Hell yeah. Get fucked, man.
And you can make artificial ruby.
Oh, dude, pyramid.
I guess theoretically you could do it with sapphire and emeralds too. It's just you'd need so much heat.
You guys invested in this epic story?
Because as far as I understand it, sapphire, emerald, and ruby are all aluminum oxide under a certain amount of pressure. Maybe diamond is is also the same material. I'm not 100% sure. Just depending on like the amount of heat you put in. Heat and pressure. So sapphire glass is used for phone screens. Okay, it makes sense that would be artificial.
So this is the space colony where Eggman is hiding.
Where is he? When he's saying this.
Is everyone alright?
But,
The hatch doors are sweated, not those.
but yeah, this came up because my brother got artificial.
What's up with that knucklehead anyway? Trying to take over the shuttle. I thought we were toast for sure. Huh? Where did he go now?
Looks like he bailed. This place looks deserted. Dusty, too. This place was shut down about 50 years ago because of a terrible accident. The first Bernoulli spherical space colony, called ARC. When it was operational, it was the most advanced research center of its kind. But looking at it now...
Now it's an abandoned ark, wouldn't you say?
There's not much time left before Eggman fires that weapon again. We've got to hurry. Let's find the cannon and destroy it.
Yeah!
Alright.
Someone designed that weapon to be impenetrable from outside attack. Its defense shields are super strong, so we have to find a way to destroy it
Isn't that
inside.
Chaos Emerald?
Oh my god, they talk over each other so much in this game.
Created after researching the real emerald.
I wonder how it is in like Japanese.
I assume much better.
Are they just talking faster in Japanese?
I mean, I don't know the reason why. Obviously, the audio mixing is like messed up. So I just assume that also is part of the thing that's messed up.
We'll switch the Chaos Emeralds when the machine is stopped, right?
I hate you. You guys always wish me
God damn, Amy.
Anyway.
I hate you. I'm girl. I'm upset for no reason. Hell yeah. Playing as Tails is the best. I just get to blow shit up. Ow. Blew too much shit up.
Home construction design is about making the cheapest box of wood. I mean...
Oh man. His perspective is all sorts of fucked up, huh? Alright.
Totally agree on the
Yep.
cheaply make a castle thing. I saw 2 YouTubers with an expensive castle tower set, another one that is just painted cardboard. On camera, they look equally as good. Huh.
Hell yeah, we should all just start building castles.
Yeah, I feel like it can't be that expensive to just, like, buy a bunch of rocks and mortar and then just start stacking it.
What?
Like, I've played with blocks before. It's been a couple years,
I
but
did
I
not
feel
move
like...
forward, I swear, guys.
I believe you.
Okay.
Don't have to convince me that a Sonic game is a little janky.
Explosives are very bad. Do you not see, like, me exploding tons of robots? Okay, so the idea is don't hit the dynamite on the walls. Otherwise you get sucked out into space. But, like, come on. You can't just, like, build up a game where it's fun to explode things and then be like, no, stop. Stop that. You're bad.
There's a guy in England that did it, and after 7 years and 2 stories, he's being forced to take it down. So, England has a bunch of, like, weird stories like that, where, like, your construction rights are kind of weird. Like, I don't know. There's that story. What's that guy? There's, like, Hippity Hoppity or whatever.
Get off my property.
Yeah, there was a guy who he built a shed, and then the government was forcing him to take the shed down. So he, after this very long, drawn out story, on live television, he pulled out a revolver and just shot the whatever person working for the city, and then everyone starts running, and, like, there's this one reporter who got shot in the ass, and he's like, yes, slightly alarming, I have a bullet in my ass. It's just like,
Oh, come on.
the guy's, like, super calm about it. Yeah, I heard they're
Very
forcing him
alarming, yes.
to take down the... I mean, the government in the UK is pretty bad at the moment.
They're having some issues.
The whole, like, baby murder was kind of kind of wild. And I'm not talking about abortion, by the way. Like, I'm pretty like cool with abortion, but no, they did just kill a baby. Like, it was they were like,
They killed a couple.
yeah, they killed a lot of babies, actually. No, there was a couple cases where, like, the baby's, like, takes too much health care, so they're like, nah, gonna kill it. And the parents are like, no, I'll take it to another country, I'll pay for it. And they're like, no, you won't. Because, you know, they're like, the medical transport will cost money. And it's like, oh no, I'll pay for the medical transport myself. And it's like, nah, you'll make the UK look bad. There was the most recent case that I heard about, I'm sure there's a lot of baby murder. always the white parents too. But there was the Pope gave the baby agreed to pay for the baby's medical care, and then the Prime Minister of Italy gave the baby citizenship.
What?
So she could, and then offered to pay for transport, and then they were like, "Nah, I'm killing that baby."
Yeah, very special.
And they locked the parents out and made them watch from the other side of like a glass wall because they were afraid, for good reason, that they would try and save their baby's life.
Yeah. Oh man, gotta deal with these chaos things. Oh fuck. What am I doing, man? Come on, let me turn the camera, please. Ugh. Yeah, like what does it want me to do?
Basically, they don't own their property; they buy a lease from the owner. Huh.
Oh, it won't open up for me. Heaven's gates won't open up for me. Oh, it has the health bar on the bottom, I think. Is that the health bar? No, that's me, I think. I don't know. What the fuck is going on? Why won't this thing die?
Well, it's deflecting the shots, so we'll see when you actually hit. I think you have to wait for it to pop out of its thing. So, like, lock on and then get closer so it tries to attack you. Okay, so it is that thing's health.
Oh, what the fuck? I hate this thing. This thing sucks.
Me too.
Yeah.
I agree, right, chat?
We all agree.
So it's built on unstable ground and it's shifted. Permanent provers don't check well. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I can't even turn around fast enough to hit this goddamn thing. You seen this shit?
Chat says to lock on and wait for his head to pop out. Which is also what I think. Did he just die?
Ah. Okay then.
Oh, so is that health bar like the health of the ship?
I don't know.
Intriguing. So anyway, my brother wanted to. I just looked at what he was saying. He was saying, redo the kitchen. I don't know what that means. There's like floor that's like fake floor. There's hardwood floor that he wants to like fix up, and then like a coat of paint. So I'm gonna help him do that stuff. Not that I need any more experience painting walls, but I think everyone kind of understands how to paint a wall. Very first time I did it, I understood. I did fuck up a...
Oh my god, why did they design the game like this? It's awful.
Oh, it is Tails' health?
That was my second guess.
Redoing a kitchen is replacing countertops, floors, and appliances. I don't know if he's like that. Like, I know that's what redoing kitchen is. I don't think that's what he means. I think
What
he's
does it want me
like-
to do here?
I think redoing a kitchen to him means doing as little as possible to make the kitchen look nicer. So I don't know what that... Oh, hey, Basil. Can Wonder Woman be considered a magical girl? I know nothing about that genre.
I thought I landed on it! Jesus Christ!
I like how as Tails dies, he's like, Sonic, you fucking idiot!
Me.
Eternal Engine is kind of a sick name. The day I did hardwood floors with my dad was the day I learned he knew more swears than me. Pulling out the DR Vits.
Doing my best, guys. Yeah! Sonic! Damn it. Okay. I do kind of like that this is... I think these were the only games where Tails was actually voiced by an actual child actor.
Hmm.
Instead of, like, just changing it for a wham.
A girl who just goes,
Yeah.
Mario!
Man. Oh my god, stop! 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 I'm doing the best I can!
So anybody watch Log Horizon? Because I'm just like, every time I hear that, like, doof noise, I just think of the intro. That show could have been so cool, but then they got real into, like, cat people. I think the cat people, legitimately, total goddamn trash.
Again? Stop closing the door, you stupid chow! I just opened the door. Why'd you close it again?
They had some interesting concepts, but they just... The first season was like okay and kind of shitty, and I was like, oh man, it could be so good. And then I watched the second season, and I was like, oh, but it's not.
Okay.
I was like, it could be so good, but they're just...
They just chose not to do that.
They just chose not to make it good. But they have all the ingredients. They had some interesting concepts, but you get maybe like a total of 10 seconds of like interesting relationships between the characters. Split apart between like 2 scenes through the whole first season. Then otherwise you have like some interesting concepts that they went the wrong direction on. So like one of the characters, it's people all trapped in a video game. One of the characters was playing as a male character, and she was like, oh, fuck no, as soon as, like, it became real, right? So she begs the main character for a gender swap potion from some, like, event that lets you, like, you know, get one of those. So then she switches to being female, and she looks like she does in real life. And,
Oh my god. It does like a double attack, so it doesn't even like... It basically just an insta-kill at that point.
And she's quite like short.
The game's gonna kill me.
trading on those. So she's like quite short, and people treat her as like not like a. She's quite short and quite like cute looking, so people don't treat her like an adult. And so she kind of enjoyed playing a video game where she could like be treated more seriously. But then they proceed to treat her like a doll the entire like show, and that they have some like all these characters like force her to wear like cute dresses or whatever, and that's like a gag that takes up like way too much of my life. They could have done something interesting with that, like had other people where she tells them that it bothers her, then they go like, oh, don't treat her like that, or I don't know, just like act like humans. But it's like
just like be nice.
It's like people are writing some of the episodes and other people don't know what's happening in the other episodes. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. But
Oh man.
they have like 10 seconds where they say like briefly like, oh, how old are you, or something like that, or he says
What?
like,
I had rings though. God.
I think it is your health on the bottom. So that's what someone was saying. I think Yeshua was saying that.
But what about the rings? What's the point of the rings then?
Extra score? Yeah, because you're losing rings and health. It looks like the health is...
It's so annoying too, because they like try to make it so that you're not supposed to shoot. But then there's all these things trying to kill you when you don't shoot them.
And stuff shooting you in the back. And you can't move the camera to look at them. But yeah, I think the main character says like, oh, I'm 29. She's like, oh, really? That's how old I am. And he's like surprised. And they have like, you know, almost have like a personal moment, but then they're like, oh no, we need a joke. Like,
yeah, just insecurity.
Yeah, just writing insecurity.
I
So
see that.
So the the show just like suffers for it. I imagine the manga is like similar, but I didn't bother with it. And then they had another really interesting concept of like, because they're trapped in a video game.
Bazooka.
When someone dies, they respawn, and there's no consequence. And I thought that was really fucking interesting, because Sword Art Online was like, oh no, if you die in real life. And it's like, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, they made it make sense, but it's like, you know, I think putting death on the line is like Babby's first stakes. You know, it's like, it really feels like this sort of training wheels of like how you make stuff have stakes to say like, oh, the characters could die. But
oh my god. This fucking game.
But like the main characters, if they die, the story will get worse because you won't be invested in who's left, typically. So you have to like really set up a death, and if you don't, it's like, you know, you run the risk of people just not caring. Like in Game of Thrones, they killed a couple characters, and then people, like a lot of people just stop watching because they're like, oh, I don't care anymore because that character's dead. And like, yeah, a lot of people like stuck in there, but they lost a lot of people with like different characters dying. It's good to be able to make. I mean, that's a story where people kind of have to die, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, there's more interesting stakes, I think. I think like One Punch Man is an example of like, I'm not afraid the main character's gonna die, but still interesting. That was an example where I thought was really interesting. Someone dies, and it's like a trauma that they can't get over because they're like, and they say like, oh, I've never felt so useless, so defeated that I actually just fucking died. And it's like it's weird because it's like, it's because you wouldn't think about it, but like, yeah, the guy's like, when it came down to it, I was just like useless. I completely worthless because I should be dead or whatever. You know, it's like a weird like survivor guilt thing. I think that sort of the fragility of the characters to be able to mentally keep going after dying multiple times, I thought was a much. Oh yeah, what are you supposed to do there?
It's free falling, but it's like fucking impossible.
Did you run out of health?
Yeah.
Because I was a lot to look at. I didn't notice. So yeah, that character is like super disturbed from like dying, and then there's all these other characters that are like really lethargic, and they just because it's like, you know, in a medieval setting, in like a fantasy game setting, like food is really cheap. Like if you ever played Oblivion, it's like you get all this gold, and it's like how much is like eating, and it's like, oh, 1 gold, huh? And so
oh my
it's
god, fucking the insta kills are ridiculous.
no, and that makes you go back to the beginning of the level.
What's wrong with this level? Why is it so broken? I don't understand.
I'm sorry, my love. Sonic is.
Rings heal for like I had rings, and then I also had the health at the bottom, and I still died.
Were you, because you had health, were you able to move after you got hit that last
I still
time?
fucking died, and I didn't think I was supposed to, so I didn't worry about it, and then I fucking died.
But yeah, there's a lot of people that, like, because they had no motivation to work, they were just sitting by the side of the road, because with just the random money that their average player would have, you could survive for, like, several years, like, buying food and lodgings and stuff. And so there's all these, like, homeless... Not like homeless, but there's just these people just like sitting around being depressed because like they have no motivation or whatever. I thought that was super interesting.
My aim is all fucked in this level, man.
And they fixed that by like fabricating a market of luxury goods by like making food taste good. And then that was kind of neat. But only kind of. I would have been more interested in like, how do you like psychologically care for people that can like die over and over and over again? But yeah.
Yeah. Open this door every single time. Every single time I gotta reopen this door. Stop closing it.
Can players be homeless if they have no need for housing? Exactly, right? They're kind of homeless, but they kind of don't. I don't know if they need to sleep. I don't remember. But like, they stay clean as a matter of like you just, it's just like a video game where like the mud just comes off over time. It's the same thing with the game, or with the, you know, with the players. They just like naturally, like if they get mud on them, it'll just fade away. Given enough time. Dang.
I can't do this anymore, man. This is so fucking retarded.
Yeah, you were in the center. It still hit.
Oh god, and it hits the dynamite that I'm not even looking at. It's impossible. It's not even like I can cancel once I get the fucking dynamite, so it's just like, guess I'll die.
Oh yeah, so the rings do heal you for a little bit.
Like, look how long it takes for me to hit that one guy. It's ridiculous. Best Sonic game. 10 out of 10.
Anyway, so at BasedCon, that guy was riffing on the idea that, like, you know, when an atheist says thoughts and prayers, like, what value does that have? And I was like, I was like riffing on that. I was like, okay, well, what if the atheist really does, like, he does, like, pray, right? He doesn't believe, but you do, so he does it. And he's like, oh, well, he's got to believe a little bit. And I was like, oh, what if he doesn't? What if he just does that, you know, just to do it? And he's like, oh, you know, dear God, like, my friend got into a car accident. Kid you, I wanted to think and pray of him. All right, done. And then he goes back on Reddit, right? Like, what if? And then we were weighing like the merits of the thoughts and prayers of atheists. And I was like, so in the tier list of like atheist prayers versus like, you know, like other religions, I was like, oh, what about like Islam? And he's like, oh, fuck that. Like, he's like, oh, but like the guy does sincerely like believe in it, and it's like, ah. So we were like weighing the different like, you know.
Didn't even drop me any handsome news.
I was like, what if it's a Christian Scientist? And he's like, ah, fuck that. They're like a very culty, yeah, they're I guess you'd call them a cult, sect of, like, they like consider themselves to be Christian, but I think a lot less people than like even Mormons.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, now I'm here.
What?
Wow.
Oh, it was a trick! It was a trick! Baited! Oh no!
Jebaited. What the fuck is this map?
Got baited. You know, it almost makes more sense that, like, they would have terrible, like, civil engineering for, like, how workers are supposed to travel around than, like, a very well-refined path. But yeah, then I brought up, like, what if it's a worshiper of Moloch? And, if you don't know,
Moloch's not good.
yeah, Moloch's not good. It's, if you know, like, Rome versus Carthage, that whole rivalry, one of the main religions in Carthage was Moloch, or one of the main gods in their pantheon was Moloch, and, worshipping Moloch, I guess the important stuff is, they had flaming pits that they would throw babies into, and then they had temple prostitutes to accumulate money. Like, instead of the usher coming by with a basket at church, it would be like, you know, just prostitutes that you would pay. And with the protection of Moloch, you wouldn't get, like, some horrible syphilitic disease or something.
Stop. Stop.
Is that
Stop.
is that like rubber banding on a non-multiplayer game? I don't know what that was.
Where did it want me to go? Ah, yes, this one. Okay.
So anyway, I was fucking around and I was like, all right, so a Moloch worshiper, do you put that, if he's sending his thoughts and prayers, do you put that above or below your your atheist friend, and he's like, I think his like instinct is to be like, you know, diplomatic and be like, oh well, if they genuinely believe, it's better than like atheists. And I was like, all right, so he's banging a temple prostitute, and he's like, I'm gonna be thinking about you, man. I'm gonna be praying, and he's like, whoa, I don't want him to be thinking about me. And it's like, oh, so you're gonna return the thoughts, but you'll keep the Moloch prayers. He sacrifices babies in flaming pits, man. And you're worried about the thoughts? So we were going down, like people were naming different like random religions and like sects of different religions and stuff.
Okay, there we go.
I think someone was just like, what about like Apollo or something? It's like sick. Super sick. He like flipped the table and was like like he was having me do a tier list, and he was like, all right, it was Seventh-day Adventist and all sorts of like weird like sects that I'd never heard of. I think Messianic Judaism came up too. Something like that.
Fuck you, fucking bitch!
Can you move? Oh, you're out of health, okay. You got this.
Do I?
Yes. I believe in you.
I don't think I do. I'm hashtag tilted, bro.
Can any true believer exist without evidence? Yeah. Yeah, you can. Mormons ruined the word soaking for me. You're like a you're like a preacher of ruining the word soaking. I talked to a Mormon at the con. And he was like, I don't know. I feel like he's so used to getting like beat up over his religion. He's like, all right, so.
Yeah, you seem pretty casual about it.
Yeah, I know, but he was like, all right, so. But that's like how he came into talking about being a Mormon. He's like, all right, so. He like prefaces it with like. This this is very like.
Oh, thank goodness. They gave me some anti-gravity.
Never seen you so excited to finish a Sonic level.
I didn't think that was going to be the end. I thought I still had like 18 more random...
So going for S rank next? Gonna be like the pharmacist?
I can't do anything in this game. I've given up all hope on being proficient in Sonic.
To think people thought the Elden Ring DLC was hard.
Oh, it's just the controls of this game are so jank, that's all.
Basil's just like, E. Judging.
I guess Amy's dead. Oh, fuck.
Speaking of the pharmacist, what was the prank you wanted me to play? I guess I missed it.
Back to treasure hunting.
Your favorite?
I don't remember this game being so long.
Usually it's the opposite of like childhood games.
Alright.
The prank is, you know, we're driving and
What?
No. Someone put something, I forget, someone put something that made me think of it in the Discord, but I put that green text with the bro job,
Oh,
choo choo.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass on those kinds of pranks. There is something about that format that produces some really, really funny.
I think Bro Job, Choo Choo has genuinely inspired a lot of DC YA writers. They read that and they're like, oh yeah.
I
I can punch rocks. Man.
so many rings.
Oh, I should ask the TV for a clue. Two huge containers. Thanks.
So yeah, that inspired me to make a game ranking the thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, based on all kinds of weird religions.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a tank over here. Cool. Let's see. No beeps. Can't get any beepage around here. Yeah.
Oh, I got a lifetime pass to BasedCon, so you can expect to see us there in the future.
Between the inverted blue You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Two huge containers between the inverted blue tower and the steel tower. Oh, come on. Okay. With steel tower on the ground. Inverted blue tower and the steel tower on the ground.
How do you invert a tower? I guess if there's like a tip of the tower?
I'm getting the beepage.
The ceiling looks kind of cool. Climb the building in the middle, is what JB says.
What are you doing here? There. No more beepage. Beepage is gone. I don't like this. Don't like this at all. Hey, life.
Did you hear the latest excuse for Winds of Winter's delay? I have not. There was someone at the con who was saying, like, she's got some kind of, like, philosophical, like, thesis where she's like, there's no way to write a good ending for Game of Thrones, and I'll tell you why. And it's like, I don't know. It just... It's only a problem because she's a writer, her saying that, because, like, obviously there's a way to end everything satisfactorily. It's just, like, it just sounds like incompetence. Or it sounds like she's announcing her own incompetence by being like, you know, some people think if you're a good enough writer, you can write your way out of it. It's like, you can. You can always just...
I mean, it would show talent if you could.
Because, like, so you need, like, all these factions to lose and then have somebody be on the throne? Like, is that really that hard to figure out? If nothing else, you could just have like another Targaryen babe come from like the islands. So there's a bunch of Targaryens that are scattered in different like island territories. It's not just like the two people, like, or not Targaryens, there's Valerians. And so that's like historically like who's been in charge or whatever. So Jon Snow could just marry one of those. It doesn't seem that crazy. You could have someone else show up with a dragon, and like, yeah, that makes the plot take longer. But it's like, I mean, worse if you literally can't work with the characters you have, you could always insert new characters and have them work or have them be related to other characters. There's all sorts of like bastards and stuff that have like escaped being killed and whatever. Like in the books, I think in the show, the dude's wife, whatever, Stark, something.
Where'd that rocket thing
Robb,
go?
yeah, Robb Stark. Robb Stark's wife, I think, dies in the show, but in the book she survives. So you could always have her wife or his wife have like given birth, and then, oh, but that wouldn't be Targaryen or Valerian. Whatever. But if you had to, you could always like use that to tie back in. You could have like someone use his claim from some other country. It's not impossible. Like it might, I don't know, it might not be as cool as like Daenerys and her dragons or something, but I think that guy as a writer though, or as a person, he's like super depressed, and so he's afraid of like heroic stuff and like happy endings and things, and so you're never gonna get like a super satisfying ending like if like Tolkien wrote it or something. So
Yeah, I guess so.
I haven't read any of the books. I read like half of the first one and I was like, oh fuck this. Like this guy is so like depressed, and you can feel the over editing in it, and it's like knowing that he took 15 years to finally finish that book.
It feels like it took 15 years.
Yeah, it feels like it. Like, when you're reading it makes me anxious because it's like, oh man, don't do this, is all I can think every time I'm like reading it. Like I read a section that's obviously been like edited 1,000 million times, and I'm just like, oh man, you gotta calm down. This has like no natural tempo anymore.
It has just all stress.
Yeah, like I'm reading a paragraph and then I just all of a sudden it's a paragraph that was written like several months later, and you just know, like you could just it's just in there. Are you supposed to dig inside those rings? Or is that just my OCD telling me to do that?
It's for like treasure or whatever. I don't know where this fucking emerald
What's the
thing
matter?
is.
You don't like treasure?
This is like a hellish fucking map to be doing this treasure hunting on. You got meteors flying at you, and then also everything is separated from one another.
Yeah.
And everything also looks the same, so I keep on forgetting where I was.
And you can't see everything from one screen. Like there's like pop in. Interesting. It's a cool map though. Cool concept for a map, I guess.
I'm in hell.
I don't really like the floating platforms that much.
Nobody should.
If there was like lore that this was like a mining operation where they're using like things to suck in the asteroids, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I got nothing.
But
I don't know what it wants me to do.
see the floating cargo containers? The emerald is in one of them.
Well, let's try to do another roll.
Fair enough. Adding a new character to solve your problems is like sticking a middle finger to your existing character. I mean, I guess so is killing all your characters. I mean, I see your point. It's like, yeah, you're not going to be invested in these new characters, but he kills so many of his characters that people like, so it's kind of like, it's about the same thing. Like, someone who is killing off all their characters is kind of someone who's going to need to add characters. So, if you're signing off for all the murder, you're signing off for adding random people you don't give a shit about.
Just explode in his head. Hell yeah. Oh. Can I move my camera? Whoop. Whoa. Oh. Mid-walk.
They really struggled to have the Hound, like, the writing makes sense with the Hound. Like, people are reacting to the Hound like he's many different characters, depending on the scene. It's like no one has a consistent idea of what the character is supposed to be like.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Ugh. Ugh. This game is pain.
Oh, you guys want to hear some retarded historical facts? Or not historical facts. You want to hear very retarded pseudo-historical information that someone who very definitely went to a liberal arts college shared with us at BasedCon? You may lose brain cells. So...
You've been warned.
I was telling it to my friend John, and he actually shed some light on where she might have gotten the information from. Which is interesting. But essentially, she went to like a liberal arts school that wanted to just like say stuff about like Europeans or white people in general and make them sound bad with some like fake historical information. And then she just like 100% believes it, no matter how much it doesn't make any sense. You cannot lose brain cells if you never had one in the first place? Fair enough. Are you playing the Steam version? Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
At least we know where all those Getting Over It / Jump King games started now. I guess so. They're all inspired from Knuckles' space station level. So, she must have taken a class on the Victorian era by someone who hated white people, because she was telling us facts of the Victorian era, which none of them make any sense, and I can tell you, without knowing anything about the Victorian era, having an IQ just above room temperature will guide you from believing in any of this. But sadly, sometimes people go to a liberal arts school and they just get like conditioned to believe stuff that doesn't make any sense. Especially when you're given the opportunity to feel like you're better than people or have power over people by having these facts that are like super unbelievable. Because when the facts are super unbelievable,
chances are they're not real.
They're not real, but you get to be like, haha, I know this thing.
Why won't it just let me go this way? I gotta... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and no one could ever think of these facts, or no one could ever know this, right? Because it's not real, it's not true, and it's so ridiculous. Only you and the other people in your class would ever think that this is true. And so you have this, like no one will ever be like, yeah, I know about that. Because no one has, like, this is so unbelievable. Oh, no.
Oh, no. How do I... Why my punch not work on this thing?
I have no idea.
What else am I supposed to do besides punch it? That's literally all he can do.
Give it a knuckle sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, she said that men during the Victorian era worked 36-hour shifts, which is bad, but nothing compared to the... Well, you know what? Let's just start there. You can't work a 36-hour shift. This is not happening. Maybe with caffeine and cocaine, but...
Maybe if you work at a hospital and they have a bed set up for you.
Yeah, there is, like, there's... Oh, is that it? Right there?
Yeah, and that's why you need to get a better role.
Hey! Thinking with gambling. Yeah, like there's like 30-hour shifts at hospitals, but those are shifts where you are sleeping at the hospital and they'll wake you up if there's an emergency.
Yes.
This is not a
If she said weekly they worked 36 hours, it'd make much more sense because that is the norm, right? But
there was that politician or whatever that got in all this hot water. People were like, how come you're not shoveling the snow, right? Because he was like, oh, my wife is so great, she just got done with like a shift or whatever. But I think what had actually happened was she went to work a shift, went to like nap in the break room or whatever, or it's like a specific room for sleeping. It's not like a break room. It's like there's beds and stuff. And she went to sleep, and then nobody needed her, and so she just like slept for like forever, and then woke up and it's like time to go home, and she just like she like gets home and she's like, let me just like do something physical because I feel like terrible for sleeping for 12 hours. So she shoveled the driveway, and while he made breakfast. But I don't know. He was like a Democratic politician, I guess. So he was like trying to be like whammon or something, and it didn't play as didn't like wasn't received as well as they thought it would be.
I make my bitch work for me and shovel the snow.
Feminism. Got it. Anyway, yeah, there's no 36-hour shifts in the Victorian era. And then she was like, oh, if you thought that was bad, women had to work 72-hour shifts. And it's like, all right, already 36-hour shifts are fucking retarded. Like, that's not happening. A 72-hour shift is for sure not happening. And she's like, no, it did. It happened. And
It's like she doesn't even realize that that's 3 whole days of just non-sleep working.
It's like, and like Trisha was Trisha,
like, how would that be possible?
Trisha like challenged it, and she's like, no, it's true. And then you're like, yeah, but that's, and she's like, no, it's true. It's like, but no, it's true. And I couldn't even like
she tried to reason with it by being like, oh well, it's not difficult work, you know, you're just sitting by a machine.
I was like, bro, I had no like I didn't have any like kind of like intricate responses. Like, bro, that's retarded. Like, it was just, and then she was like, yeah, and then their babies, they had to take care of babies at the time, right? And so what they did was they put them on opioids for the entire shift. And I was like, bro, 3 days straight on opium?
Yeah, your baby's dead.
She's like, yeah, that's why
to bring it to you.
She was like, yeah, that's why the infant mortality was so high. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? That's so dumb. And she's like, oh, it happened. It's like fucking, like, it would sound schizophrenic if I didn't know, like, teachers at liberal arts schools teach you stupid shit like this to try and be like, yeah, white people aren't so great, huh? But it makes no fucking sense. Like, it's like, just, like, it's like, you know, you need water and food, and she's like, yeah, that's why all the babies died. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? That's so stupid.
You would kill your entire workforce.
Everyone would be dead after a single shift. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? All the babies, there would be, like, dead babies. Like, you'd have to have, like, the pickup corpse guy from Monty Python with that many.
Bring out your dead. Gong.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
That's a funny reference.
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, so syphilis was a big problem, so doctors prescribed raping underage boys in the ass.
Oh,
It's
yeah, they
like,
prescribed that.
are you sure?
I guess they really were pro-gay back then, huh?
It's like, I was just like, dude, that's so dumb. I like had my head in my hands, like, dude, what are you talking about? Because it's like a fellow author, so you don't want to like embarrass them, but it's like, you know, they're just like they're just parroting this like stupid like anti-white garbage. It's just like, what am I supposed to do in this situation? This
Well,
guy,
like, once you imprint a certain amount of information, it's, like, kind of hard for you to believe that this thing that you've recognized as true your whole life is just not true. But, yeah, in this case, it is especially kind of ridiculous.
yeah, she also like fancies herself like a historical fiction writer, but it's like, I wouldn't trust any of the shit that she writes. It's so dumb. So she was like 80% of men were raping little boys in the ass in the Victorian era, and one of the guys she's talking to is like 80%. How do they get 80% of men to do that? And she's like, oh, doctors prescribed it. And it's like, dude, you can't get like doctors prescribe like exercise and eating healthy too. That you're not gonna do it. Like
Yeah, like, not everybody got the COVID shot either.
it's like if you can't if your doctor prescribed you raping little boys in the ass, you're not gonna do it. What the fuck? Like, what?
I'll just take the shot. Thanks, Doc.
She was like, oh well, it was said that they you know, oh they wouldn't have syphilis or whatever. It's like, yeah, what? Like,
What? That's not a good reason. A high place, thanks. You're so smart, oh wise television.
nice hint.
I don't like this level.
I had gotten that feeling. So anyway, I mentioned this to my friend John, and he was like, oh, so her teacher is probably just taking facts about AIDS in Africa and then translating it and saying it was Victorian England. To be like, yeah, I'll show these whiteys.
Am I just trapped in within this fucking thing?
Because that is something that, like, happened quite a bit. It's also, somehow, like, it got around in, like, Africa that, like,
Come on.
Raping infants would cure your AIDS.
Was that ever actually true? Because I remember hearing that also, but I don't
In
know
Africa?
if that was just like...
In Africa, well, so it was, having sex with a virgin is supposed to cure your AIDS.
Oh, and then they translated that into babies.
Well, they were looking for virgins, and they, you know, they were doing that. So, not the best practices, but certainly not Victorian England. That is not a thing. There's just a world of difference between those two places.
But my teacher said...
Yeah, yeah. My teacher said they worked for 72-hour shifts while their babies were high on opium, and their husbands were 80% of their husbands were fucking little boys.
Don't you see? That's why the infant mortality rate was so high.
And they thought that ovaries made you orgasm, so they cut out women's ovaries, and they didn't realize oopsie doopsie. They sterilized all these women. It's like, bro, what the... And that is also something she said. That was, like, in the same lecture on Victorian England. I
didn't know that they had so many surgeries back then. My goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which way do I go up again?
This one I've heard before from like college. Women in the 1700s were non-legal entities when they were divorced, and therefore their husbands could beat them from the past, like when they were married.
What?
The chronology doesn't make a lot of sense, but so let's adjust it and say like, oh, it was while they were married. They're also non-legal entities. That also means that you can murder someone, because if you don't exist, you can't be charged with a crime. That means that I assumed that when she said they're non-legal entities, she was about to talk about some like money laundering scheme or something where they're like having their wives do all this illegal stuff so that they can't get sued or something because they can only be sued as a couple or something like that. I don't know.
Oh man.
But no, but then I remembered, oh yeah, right, she's like from a liberal arts school, so it's going to be something like apeshit retarded. But yeah, I mean, you could do all sorts of like illegal like banking activity if you were a non-legal entity, aside from like murdering people and getting away with it.
Oh my god, I hate this so much. Alright, I'm done. That's all for me. I can't. Yeah, physics are just terrible.
She said that baths, people believe that baths caused the plague, which is not true. People didn't think that. There was a period, and someone brought this up, they were like, that's not true, that the bathhouses were less popular because priests and like the church was like, hey, we know you're hiring prostitutes in the bathhouses. No, stop it. No more bathhouses. And so then it was like bathhouses had a bad reputation, and so they were less popular for that. And then there was like a movement to like get rid of bathhouses, like have people have their own baths and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then like in a city, you just can't afford to have like much of anything because there's so much less space, so people didn't like bathe as much when they lived in cities. Just like now. But there's like showers and they don't take up a lot of space, so.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't mind going to a bathhouse. That sounds pretty relaxing.
Yeah. Hey, Oscar 420.
Yeah, we got lots of people just hanging out in chat. How's everybody doing?
Got a big meeting early. Have fun, guys. I'll catch you later. David Myers. Although I think I missed you by a bit. Are you near Pittsburgh? We drove through Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly say we're near it.
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't. I don't know. But we drove near Pittsburgh. I saw signs for Pittsburgh while we were driving.
Right.
9 hours west. But on our way to BasedCon.
Boring.
Probably end up hearing the same from monkeypox. Monkeypox instantly left the news as soon as there was a bunch of cases where there was a bunch of like gay couples with like adopted kids that were like, oh no, our kid has monkeypox, this has to be stopped, and then it was discovered it was a sexually transmitted disease, and they were just like,
whoa.
Just
Yeah.
take this story, and it's like, oh, my dog has monkeypox, and it was
Whoa.
like, uh-oh. And then they were like, red button, like, cancel, never mind, don't talk about monkeypox, don't talk about monkeypox. And so it's just completely scrubbed. They're like, don't worry about it.
Burn them all!
It's like, don't worry about it. We're not going to talk about monkeypox. Don't worry about who's getting monkeypox. It's fine. No more monkeypox in the news. But yeah, there was a bunch of cases of dogs and the adopted kids of gay couples getting...
No.
So then it was like, never mind.
That can't be true. That's impossible.
Yeah, we'll just assume that it's all like made up by QAnon or something.
Oh God. Alright, well, let's
Oh,
not
no!
end the stream like that.
Why'd you have to stop playing Sonic? Now we're gonna end on that.
We weren't talking about monkeypox until you brought it.
Someone in chat brought it up.
Okay.
I'm just reading chat like a good person. No, don't.
Yeah.
Don't talk about the new fungal STD from Africa.
No!
No.
No!
I
Wake
think-
up, babe. New STD just dropped.
Oh, no.
That's so goofy.
We're talking about something. We're gonna end the stream on something that is not that.
Yeah, try to find something positive to talk about. My gosh, we have so many people watching. Since when were 14 people watching our streams?
Oh, guys,
It's so flattering.
Guys, you made a mistake.
And we're talking
made a
about
mistake.
monkeypox. What the hell?
Oh, this new STD. No, we're talking about anything else.
Did you have any more tales from BaseCon you wanted to share?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, there was a Mormon guy there, and he was like, he prefaces being like, now I'm a Mormon, but like, you know, he has this like.
He's like, I'm not one of those weird
That's how
Mormons
he-
type of energy.
That's how he
to him.
prefaces talking about it, and I just thought that was so funny. He's like, so. He just asked that, and then I was like, oh, is there really a soda culture? And I was like, I started it off by being like, no, Mormons they have good numbers. I understand people have all sorts of theological like problems with Mormonism, like the
Yeah,
whole.
well, they do a lot of weird stuff, right?
Well, no, like theological problems
Yeah.
is different than that.
Sure.
You're talking about polygamy, but the religion is like a guy found extra golden tablets, like extra golden commandments, and he was like, there's new ones. These are like
These are better.
it's
because they're
kinda-
made out of gold instead of stone.
The stone ones are like rank 3. Now I got the rank 1 golden tablets. This is like extra rare tablets. New commandments. Can't see. Only me.
And only me.
Only me can see.
Alright.
They were buried in America. Actually, as it turns out, Middle East wasn't where it all started. It was in America, and the different tribes were Native Americans, and
Oh dear.
the whole So that's like their kind of like lore. So it's pretty sketch, right?
It's pretty sketch stuff.
But they have really good numbers. Just like socially they have a high, maybe not the highest, but they have extremely high marriage happiness, like people happy in their marriage. They have like low rates of depression. They have like lots of kids. All their numbers are quite good on all these different things. It probably all stems from the fact that it kind of started as like a sex cult, and so part of the things part of what they preach every like Sunday or whatever is like, you have to have sex every single day, otherwise you're being a bad Mormon.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, married couples should have sex quite often.
Yeah.
It kind of just helps balance out a lot of their hormones.
Yeah. No, it's just interesting that like, I would like, I don't know a lot about their other like practices or what kind of ideology they're sort of teaching in the church or whatever, but I could assume that most of that marriage satisfaction you could probably chalk up to that. If I had to guess, right?
Yeah, that would be my first guess. For
Um,
sure. I don't think it's polygamy.
No.
That's for sure.
No, but most Mormons, I think, most Mormons, at least in the U.S., don't practice that. I know there's a couple like edge cases of like other like communes in other countries, but in any case, yeah, they have good numbers, and I like brought that up. I was like, yeah, I'm not religious at all, but like, you know, I can respect like Mormon whatever, and the guy appreciated that, and I was like, they also have like a pretty effective like dating thing that they do. They have like an important thing that the church runs is like they're trying to get couples together, so they have like they have a bunch of social things for.
Yes, and that is good. That is really good. I like the idea of like trying to like introduce the youth to young Timmy, you want to go talk to young Susie over there or whatever.
And they'll like work with other churches to like
set you up with somebody.
Yeah, try and like pair people up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And like the the people in the church will kind of treat it like it's a problem that needs to be solved. Is that you're like single, so they'll kind
I
of.
think it takes the anxiety off of
Yeah.
like you when you're young because
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about like, which girl should I pick? I guess I'll just settle for whoever says yes type of deal, you know?
Yeah. So anyway, so I was asking him like, oh, is soda culture real? Because I've heard of soda culture, and they're like, yeah, it works like any bar where you pay some admission, then you can like drink as much as you want. And I was like, that's not. I haven't been to a lot of bars. I don't think that's how bars
Oh,
work.
good night, Gabe. We'll see you next time.
Good night, Gabe.
So he's feeling ill. I hope he feels better.
I probably caused that, but yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, talking about the fucking monkey.
Hey! You said not to bring it up.
Hey.
What did you do? You just brought it up again.
Talking about the soda culture.
Why are you talking about the monkey punch?
I'm not talking about the monkey punch.
Why are you talking about ass STDs from India? What's wrong with you? Anyway, soda. You know, in bars, you have to pay per drink, but in Utah, you pay admission and then you can drink as much soda as you want.
Nice.
And people just hang out and drink soda. And
It's not good for you, but you know.
I mean, better than alcohol. And they can have caffeinated soda. It's fake news that Mormons can't have caffeine. Apparently, they.
No, you're. No, he said that it is true that you're not. It's not supposed to be caffeinated. It's just that people don't really care about that rule that much.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, well, every now and then, you know, their cheat day for caffeination. And I understand. I mean, like, I guess caffeine can be bad if you have it every single day, but, you know,
Trying to talk shit?
no.
You trying to talk
No.
shit over there?
No.
I just realized with alarm that like before the stream I was like, oh, I should like make this cold, and I did it by sticking it in the freezer.
Mm.
And I
now
left.
it's just a frozen block of...
No, I can squish
Ghost
it. So
energy.
It's not that bad.
Okay. Well, what were those, like... You remember those infomercials where it was like the make-your-own slushy cups? You, like, crush the ice in this special slurpy thing, and then it turns into a slushy.
No, dude, that was my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I know Zan. I had one of those.
You had one of those.
So no.
You should put the
You don't know-
ghost in one of those.
You don't understand.
Ghost slushies.
Trisha doesn't understand. What it was like a plastic thing that would it was like a cup liner, right? It came with a cup too, but it was like a cup liner that would like clip into a cup, but you put it in there and freeze it, and it would get super, super cold.
Okay.
And then you'd put that inside the cup that you'd keep like in the drawer or whatever, and then you'd pour orange juice into that, and then the sides were so cold that it would freeze on the sides, and you'd scrape it off, and it would be like a slushy, and so you could scrape it off and swish it around, scrape it off.
Oh,
Swish it
you know,
around.
I was thinking of something else then. Because there's this one, like, super early 2000 commercial where I see them crushing, like, the cup is flexible, and they're crushing
That
the
makes
ice
sense.
in
Yeah,
there
it would be
to
on
make
the
a
sides.
slushy.
Yeah, because the sides would be super, super cold, and you'd crush it to.
Okay.
It makes sense, but yeah, that was super. That was the best.
Yeah, JB asking, do you still have it?
No.
No. It's lost.
Yeah, I think it
Smells
probably
for
started
childhood.
leaking at some point.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
So, I remember like at some point my mom was like, "Oh, I hate to like do this, but I think we have to throw this out." And I was like,
No.
because it's like super, super. I mean, at the time I didn't realize how much sugar is in orange juice, but like having anything as a slushie is like so much better.
Can you buy a new one? That's a good question. Let's try to look
But
up those.
I wouldn't want another plastic thing to be scraping. There's no reason it couldn't be metal, right?
Well, I don't know.
It could just be metal, right? And you probably, I mean, I'm assuming inside the plastic was some kind of ice pack that was like extra cold.
Hmm.
But you could just have a metal cup you just put in the freezer and then take out, and then when you
And
pour
pour
stuff in
stuff
it,
in it,
it'll
yeah.
probably freeze. But
That is a thought.
I'm not a big sweets guy. I don't really like candy that much. I'm not super big into ice cream. But if I had a weakness, it would be any kind of like frozen like beverage deal, like slushies or ices or whatever. They're all the best.
Yeah.
So some kind of gadget that would like do that without me scraping plastic into my mouth would be cool.
I'll have to look into those.
I mean, I'm thinking like part of me is like maybe I should be making that, but I can't. I don't. I can only 3D print. I mean,
yeah,
I have.
That's just more plastic.
I have food safe plastic, but I don't really know if I want to be like.
I don't really know if any plastic is completely food safe.
So one of those made out of metal. But here's the thing: if it's made out of metal and I have a metal spoon, am I scraping metal into my mouth? It's kind of fine, right, to ingest steel, like ferrous metals. They're fine to ingest because like you have iron in your blood, right? So it's like it's not actually the worst thing to like ingest rust. It's like one of the things that are like kind of fine. Is it's not I don't think iron is considered a heavy metal, right? Right?
Asking the wrong girl.
So you're not supposed to drink mercury. I know that much. I have like if you it's like my like alchemy skill, it's like 1 point. Don't drink mercury. And then you have to, rank up to get more knowledge. I know at least that much. Lead and mercury are not great.
Iron poisoning exists.
Iron poisoning exists, but how many slushies worth of iron poisoning can I survive before I die?
Oh man.
Got a weakness for original Coke. So what's really cool is
Back
a lot of
when they put
times.
the cocaine in.
No. He probably means like the glass Coke. And when we were on vacation in Cape May, there was they had glass Coke bottles, and I was like, I remember messaging the group chat if anyone wanted the classic Coke, but no one did. I was kind of surprised. I'm not a big soda guy. The idea of a cool place to hang out is great, and if the activity is drinking soda, I would of course try all sorts of sodas and just talk and hang out and chill. That sounds quite nice. I actually really like the idea of oxygen bars. I know at a certain point you consume too much oxygen, you get some kind of problem with like it's like toxicity or something, but oxygen, like pure oxygen, clears your mind a lot, and
that sounds really nice.
It sounds much better than the other thing that will increase your cognition, which is nicotine. That's like turbo addictive. The same thing with like coffee, like caffeine will also make you think better. So there's all sorts of places historically that people have had these intellectual discussions, and like cigar lounges or like cigarette parlors or whatever have been those places, in addition to like coffee houses and whatever. Not that a lot of those, not that every idea that came out of a coffee house was really good idea, because that's where the French Revolution started, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be great if we killed this like monarchy that was kind of doing a good job, all things considered. If the monarchy was doing a worse job, they wouldn't have been able to rebel. They would have been so like crushed by like financial burdens. It was just enough of an economic downturn, and people were like just.
I think that all of Europe at one point was just like, oh my god, is monarchy not cool anymore? I don't want to be lame around all the other neighbors.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually like really understand it. And even now, there's like a lot. There's like the anti-monarchy like rhetoric is still super good. Because people react very negatively to the idea of monarchy. Because it's supposed to be like super bad. It's like, oh well, there's like no representation or whatever. But like, we definitely like had a complete lack of representation.
Well, like if you did a bad job, you could die from like an angry mob, right?
Right. No, but I think the best businesses are family businesses, and a lot of the best periods in various countries have been during a monarchy. But yeah, it's like kind of hard to say, you know.
Of course.
Like the best businesses are family businesses, so theoretically you should have a huge advantage with like monarchy. But if the monarchy fails at any point, we haven't seen a return to monarchy after going to any other form of government. So like could you have like some celebrity that is so well liked and so skilled at statecraft that they become a new monarch? Probably not. It sounds like some like crazy tyrannical situation, because you could easily imagine some like nightmare situation where it's like, Kim Kardashian, she got fucked in the ass so great in her sex tape, we're gonna make her queen. It's like, oh wow, great.
Yeah,
Like,
good idea.
It was awesome.
It was great.
So I could see so many ways of that going wrong. I think who cares what the type of government that runs the country? The most important thing is the culture. So support good culture or whatever. And like if someone says something gay and retarded, tell them that they're gay and retarded. Anyway, it really does work. It's just I've in my own life I've noticed that telling someone that something's really gay and retarded, and then like pointing out how it's like unhealthy for their mental health to think that, has typically had some success. So
I think you have had some notable success in social situations.
yeah.
I cannot really say the same. I'm not very good at dealing with any kind of confrontation. It's not my thing.
But that's just thinking on like a micro level. You obviously influence more people by like making videos and stuff.
That's because they can't talk back.
No, but it is like, I don't know, because like, well, I'll tell a happy story I've told before, but like New Jersey's a blue state, so you're taught to like hate yourself if you're white. Like they teach you that like shitty art is good art in art class. They teach
the
you
modern art.
They teach you that the Aztecs were the good guys in the whole conquistador thing. By the way, I don't know where people got this idea that their ancestors were the bad Aztecs, but they were not the bad Aztecs. It would be very unlikely. The good Aztecs, the Aztecs that sided with Cortez, they did like a huge purge of like murdering the locals to that central faction. And there's so many more from the other like satellite, like the vassal states. There's so many more. Like there's such a huge, a much bigger population. Plus army losses, like losing those battles. Plus all of the like blood purges. Plus the fact that there weren't enough Spanish to police all the killing. Your ancestors are the good Aztecs. If you're like Mexican or whatever, no fucking chance are your ancestors the bad Aztecs. Like your great grandfather was not an Aztec priest. I can fucking tell you that. They were not like ripping out the hearts of people. Yeah, you don't have to feel any sympathy for the people that were enslaving your ancestors. They got what was coming to them at the hands of your ancestors, more than likely. And in any case,
your ancestors were fighting your ancestors.
Well, no, they're fighting some other fucking like Aztec. I forget what they were called, but there's the Aztec is the empire, but then there's a central faction, which was like turbo evil and eating people and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of the citizens were against the control, people in control.
But yeah, we're taught all that bullshit, and then when you get to like history and they teach you about like World War II, they make sure to go around the class and like point out that blue eyes are inferior to brown eyes. That's like the education that you receive in a blue state, and I didn't really like it. I thought that was like kind of gay.
Yeah.
But
in history class, they always add that as a little tidbit because they're talking about Hitler and they're like, he thought that blue eyes were like perfect or whatever.
So in reality, blue eyes are much better at seeing in the dark, and they probably give you more like visual acuity, like you see things sharper. Then like the downside being like, seeing in the sun is harder with blue eyes. But like there's a reason that like in very heavily forested areas, blue eyes were more common. But also they like look cool. So
do you feel me in my nocturnal
vision? Yeah. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, I brought that up to my cousin because he had been always taught in a not too bad state, and so I was like, oh, like helps you see in the dark better, and he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, you can see his blue eyes, And he just like it was like lifting a weight off of him that like he was like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know. It's like
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I'm not complete shit garbage.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I was like, yeah, and your blonde hair, the sun goes through it easier, so you absorb more vitamin D. You also get sunburned more, but like
And that's kind of how that goes.
that's kind of how it goes. But you absorb more vitamin D like the lighter your skin is, so you vitamin D max.
Get that D.
Because you can only process a certain amount from like supplements, so yeah, like lighter skin does help in that regard. But yeah, no, he just always been taught like he was like straight inferior for having blue eyes, but it's like I don't know. It just did so much good for him just to you know realize he doesn't have to like
Hate himself.
hate himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's it's like a good thing to like. You know, there's I just feel like there's a lot of potential for like feeling better the further you like pull people away from like shitty ideologies that tell you to hate yourself. So but I've just seen it in person. I've just like in like talking to people. I don't know. There's just I see a lot of opportunities sometimes. Just you know, motivate people to like just be better and not be gay and retarded. And I don't know. It's nice. I feel like the world is moving generally in a less gay, less retarded direction.
Yeah, stop being depressed. Find things to like and appreciate about yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
I
work
think
out.
that's and workout.
And
I
chew
think that's
mastic gum. I gotta work out my jaw more. Soon I'm gonna have a crazy Giga Chad.
Yeah. And I think that's a nice little note to end the stream on. I didn't want to like go for too long on Sonic Adventure 2, so sorry if 2 hours is not long enough. I guess
Trisha can't handle it.
Granted, you know, like the last 30 minutes were just kind of us talking. It turned into a podcast, but you know, yeah, we started a little late, so I didn't want to go for too long. Well,
Oh, and left to door. What I mean by Nazi bad state is people like navigating all of their beliefs by the idea that like by like the religion of being like, well, this is the most bad, so then I calculate all of my math on what is good by like being
how
anti-Nazi.
far away from
Yeah, it's like,
right.
well, they pooped in toilets. We should stop pooping in toilets. That's fascist. Or like Hitler didn't like abusing dogs. We should beat the fuck out of dogs and eat them
Yeah,
like
right.
Haitians.
Hitler had a dog, so therefore I must get 9 cats.
Or like it's like, oh, Hitler was anti-chemical weapons. Oh, we should use sarin gas. Like oh, Hitler thought that PTSD was caused by the randomness of death resulting from artillery bombardments and snipers. We should like we should just put bombs in our pockets and just blow up randomly and just fucking
What?
we should all just randomly die because Hitler thought random death was bad. That's no good. You know, Hitler was against rape. We should
Huh?
starting to feel more leftist in here.
Come on.
But no, like
No, I totally get that. And obviously the real life is a little bit more complicated than just
and he also
do the opposite of what this guy is.
yeah, and like he also thought that you should have heroic examples of like statues and stuff around like in places that people go, like in like centers of population. You should have heroic examples of your ancestors, so that you are reminded to be great. And that's like a very obviously good thing to do, is like just see examples of people that look like you, your ancestors, or the your like
Yeah, well, Hitler was known
your
for
countrymen or whatever.
inspiring people, and that's why so many people followed him.
Yeah.
And if you're not taught that, then you're missing a big portion of the history.
Yeah. Like, people should just, in general, consume, like, art that makes them, like, motivated instead of, like, depressed. I think, like, a melancholic story is, like, interesting to me. I find melancholic stories interesting, but I say it. I always say mental diet is like how you should think about it. If you only consume like super deep, depressing stories where everybody dies, you're gonna start just like being a fucking loser. Like you're just gonna start like thinking
being
about
sad all the time.
yeah, like thinking about life as being like pointless and hopeless and stuff, and it's just not it's not a good way to go about life.
Oh yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out.
Yeah, we had fun. We'll play more Cianic next time. Till then, good night,
Yeah.
everybody.